so much for joining me again. I'm Melissa, Teach Replay. Thank you for joining me. I passed my NPQSL. So you're probably thinking like, what is that? What does it stand for? Tell me about it. So let's get into it. So the NPQSL, it stands for National Professional Qualification in Senior Leadership. And it's a qualification that senior teachers and senior leadership members of staff can embark on. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what drew me to take part in the qualification and what it was all about. So firstly, the first thing that drew me to taking part in the application was actually that I was recommended to do it as part of my CPD, so my continued professional development in my school. So I had been leading on English for 4 years. And at the time that I began my NPQSL, I had been leading on English for 2 years and making big changes in the school. And as part of my appraisal, my head teacher asked me if I would like to take part in the NPQSL. So I thought it was a great opportunity, read up a little bit about it online, and it sounded absolutely perfect for what I needed. So I'd sort of got in a place as a senior teacher and as a middle leader where I was leading on things across the school, but not always having that full whole school perspective and knowledge. And really sort of got stuck at like how I could move and progress from being a middle leader to a senior leader. So that is the reason why I embarked on the course. So what did I do and how did I get onto the course? So I've dropped in the link below, in the description below, where you can start applying for your own application. Now, the first thing that I did was speak to my head teacher about it. When I knew a little bit more about it, I chose the provider that would suit me. So we were actually in a trust. So I went with the trust as a co-provider, as well as the Institute of Education. So I knew so much about the Institute of Education. I thought it would be a great provider to help support me in this journey. I also chose to do the NPQSL because I thought it would be more of a practical way for me to develop the leadership skills that I needed in the school instead of taking the route of a master's, and a little bit more hands-on and less academic, as I didn't really want to go down the route of having to do lots of essays. So this suited me absolutely perfectly. So once I had chosen the provider, the next thing that I had to do was fill in an application form. So the application form basically asks a little bit about who you are and what you've been doing in your current practice. It also will expose who can apply to the scheme and the qualification. And basically any middle leader or an assistant head or a deputy head or somebody aspiring to be a senior leader can apply for the qualification. Now, applying for the qualification, you'll also need to see if you can get funded. So there were scholarships that were being given, but also schools were funding their own teachers as well. It is, or it can be, quite an expensive program. So if you speak to your head teacher and see if you can get onto it, it's a really great course I would definitely recommend. So let me talk you through the process. So I applied for my space, and as I applied for my space, what I did was give a little bit of background information about what I had been doing in my current role as an English lead and as a year group lead, and sort of talking about how those expertise, how I wanted to continue to develop as a practitioner and start looking at the whole school perspective. So once I did that, the next thing that I needed was a sponsor comment. So your head teacher will have to provide this for you. And my head teacher wrote me a fantastic sponsor comment, which was great, which helped to go alongside my application. And then it was just a waiting game to find out if I'd been accepted. Thankfully, I was. So I was accepted onto the course, and the next thing that I had to do was start to find an in-house or in-school mentor. So they recommend it's not your head teacher because of some of the work that you'll be doing, so usually finding someone else in school who can support you. So what I did was I chose one of my deputy head teachers who I've got a great relationship with, and he supported me in the role of becoming my mentor. So once I started to do that, I got myself enrolled and set up on the Institute of Education website, and that acted as a portal to help me with any regular reading that I needed to do and access to the PowerPoints and slides ahead of any of the sessions that we had. So when I started the course, it was just before the pandemic, and it was face-to-face sessions. So it was 5 face-to-face sessions, and the course happened for over 18 months. But because of the coronavirus pandemic, it was extended with another 6 months for submission. So, what is the course? I bet you're all wondering. So the course is basically a practical guideline and support to help you carry out a whole school project and to start developing the leadership and the understanding of a whole school approach and how to sort of develop those skills as a professional within your context. So, let me tell you a little bit more about what I learned on the course. So the course actually consists of 6 different areas. The 6 content areas were, the first one was strategy and improvement. So learning about strategies and improvements within the school that we're in. The second part was teaching and curriculum excellence. So learning about devising a curriculum that's purposeful for the children, and also being able to support and secure good and high quality teaching for all children. The third bit was learning about leading with impact and making sure that all of the leadership strategies that I had a big impact across the school. And then we had to learn a little bit about working in partnership within the trust, within the local authority, and also at a local and a national level. We then had to start thinking about managing resources and risks across the school when carrying out a project. And then increasing capability, making sure that there's scope so that any of the changes that we made to continue as a legacy when we're left. So, in addition to those different areas, we also had to learn the different areas and the different leadership styles. So we really studied the different leadership styles and identified what it is that particular leaders have that make other people motivated and also inspired to continue, and also to actually lead with impact. So what is it with those leaders that make them really successful? So during the day-to-day sessions that we went in, it was 5 sessions that we conducted, and they were spread out, and in each session they went through a section of each of the capabilities, and we had some pre-reading to do through each session. And then as we got together, we were always together in our cluster. So our cluster was made up with, I think, 10 to 15 applicants, and I also did the course alongside someone else at my school. So it was really good, all of the face-to-face sessions, getting together and learning a little bit more about how we can develop our understanding of school, how we can create an ethos and a culture in our school that really helps to develop trust and high quality education for all children. So it was a fantastic opportunity that I was given. So I had a really great time during all of the face-to-face sessions. So in order to actually complete and successfully get the qualification, you have to carry out one school project. So it has to be one thing that you can do in your school to make sure that the children raise attainment. So it's all about pupil progress and attainment. So what I did was I focused my whole project around improving the teaching and the pupils' attainment and progress in reading, early reading, through the use of phonics. So what we did in our school was myself alongside SLT and our other English leads, we worked together to conduct a whole new systematic synthetic phonics program and change that across the school. We also led on continued professional development for staff at all levels, and we also brought in resources and assessment tracking schemes across the school to ensure that the teaching and quality of learning in phonics had improved, and then also that the children developed a passion for phonics and for reading, and that they were able to improve their results, which was amazing. So I carried this out. It was super hard. There were so many times where I wanted to give up and I was like, I can't do this. But once I put all the new strategies in place, the next thing that I was going to do was just monitor that rolling out our new phonics scheme was effective, and making sure that the new books were being used correctly, and also making sure that we were assessing the children regularly in their phonics knowledge, and making sure that all teachers were teaching the best high quality reading sessions, and making sure that every child was making good progress. So those are the things that I actively had to do as part of my role. So it wasn't really in addition to anything that I had to do. These were all things that we were going to do in the school anyway, and it was a key priority of our school. So carrying out those things weren't really in addition to my current role. So I was able to carry all of that out. Then whilst you were doing that, at the end you need to conduct a 5,000 word assignment. So I'm not into academic writing, and it's been so long, and it was a real struggle. Those of you who follow me on Instagram will have seen all the struggles and the tears getting through writing a 5,000 word assignment. But I did it! So happy. It was really good getting it all done. Like, it was really challenging at times, but what I did was to keep on track with the portal and making sure that I was recording all of the different things that I had done throughout the project, and using all of that in my write-up really helped me. So getting ready to submit my assignment, what I did was make sure that in every single section I had covered all of the success criteria and included all the references that I needed, and made sure that I made it relevant to the different things that I had done in school to show my leadership style and the effect that it had. And then when I did that, at the end, my head teacher then wrote her own sponsor comment for me and spoke about my successes across the school. And I was just so happy that I did it. So I literally just received the email a couple of days ago now saying that I've done it, and I'm so happy, so I'm over the moon. Now that qualification I would definitely recommend for anybody, because it's a really good way to help you secure a job for senior leadership, and also in any role that you're in, it's just a really good way to start thinking whole school and actually what we all need to be doing to actively drive positive change in school. So yes, all done, so happy. If you are going to have a go at doing your NPQSL or NPQML, which is for middle leaders, or your NPQH for headships, I haven't done that. I don't know when I will do that. But if you've got any questions at all, if you want to hear anything else about it, drop me a message in the comments box below. Give me a thumbs up to help this video grow, and also follow me on Instagram to find out any more information. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.